Happy Friday, Hope TV family. We are the House of Hope Atlanta. Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr. is our senior pastor, and we believe that life with God is better in every way, every day. We also want to take a moment to thank our wonderful producers and our business ministry for making sure that we have these amazing guests. Listen, tonight's show is about the entertainment industry, which for some has blossomed during the pandemic, and for others, it's been a struggle. Tonight, we have with us one of the most sought after fashion stylists and entrepreneurs in our city. We have none other than Mr. Christopher Whitfield with us. He's a proud native of Memphis, Tennessee. That's where I met him. He currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a wardrobe stylist, image consultant, brand developer, and author. And he's the founder and owner of Make God Proud. He believes that dressing well welcomes success and yields undeniable self-confidence. Join me in welcoming Christopher Whitfield. Say hello to everyone.
Hey everybody, what's going on, Pastor Jennifer?
Hey, family. To
Yes.
all of our viewers, Christopher is a wonderful friend and just an amazing stylist. If you're just joining us, we need you to share this on all of your social media platforms because we know you know someone else who needs to boss up on a Friday night. So let's talk a little bit. Our theme for tonight's show again is about the entertainment industry, and we're going to talk about what Christopher does as a stylist and how that impacts the entertainment industry as a whole. So we want to get to know you, Chris. How would you describe your brand and your brand ethos? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So I'm a serial entrepreneur now, but I did start out in the fashion industry. I have my own clothing line and I do fashion and style. So I love to build confidence through fashion, through image. I want to say my expertise is in branding. I love to help clients birth their brands through vision and fashion. So um, I've just been blessed to work with so many brands and clients that are authors, artists, singers, preachers, pastors, so many models, just anybody that was looking to birth those visions and things of that nature. Those are the people that I've been able to be a blessing to and be a part of. And so my brand is it's just something that I feel that is inspirational. It's heartfelt. It comes from the heart. Everything I'm doing, I'm very passionate about it. And yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
So let's talk a little bit about how you got into this work, because as you
Yeah.
shared, is something that you're not only gifted at, but I think in a sense, because I've worked with you before, you got to be kind of called to this thing. So tell me a little bit about how you got into fashion. Did fashion choose you, or did you choose fashion?
Absolutely. It's great that you said that because I was going to end with that, but I'll start here. I've always done creative things with clothes where it was rearrange, redesign, and things of that nature. And I always tell this story all the time how I use my mom as a guinea pig to alter and reconstruct her clothing. And I found out then I was like, I really have a niche and a passion for dealing with fashion. But in Memphis, it really wasn't a thing. When no one was going to pay anyone to put clothes on them. They could just go into a store or they already feel that they're fashionable. So it really was unheard of. But I was grateful that celebrity stylist came through town and needed help. And I just threw myself out there. That I didn't really know much of what that industry required, but I just took on the lane of serving him and connecting him with what he needed. And he told me, he said, man, you have a gift for this. And I really feel that you need to pursue this. And so it was confirmation for me. And I went on to be mentored by him. His name is Jay Bolin. And we worked on several projects together. He's trusted me with many of his celebrity clients. And I'm grateful that through that, I learned, to cultivate my gift. One thing I can honestly say getting into this industry, staying relevant and staying connected is just by serving. Find yourself serving someone helping build, and you'll learn the tools and the trades and tricks that you need to build your brand. And you'll also be connected and become influential so that you can build a reputable brand. And so I didn't choose this. The calling called me. It chose me definitely. So I can definitely say that.
Again, if you're just joining us for tonight's episode of Boss Up, we are talking about the entertainment industry. Specifically, we're talking about fashion industry and also how Christopher Whitfield is a serial entrepreneur. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But I need you, if you're watching, we need you to share. If you just joined us, share this on all of your social media outlets, because I believe what Chris is going to talk to us about is going to help us power through this pandemic and really be empowered to sow more into our business and also to understand how our business can influence and help others. So I want to ask you a question about this fashion style as part of your brand and what you do. What do you love about it and what do you hate about it?
What I love the most is seeing brands unfold, and seeing a client really birth their vision. Being a part of the process, for me, I'm a process person. So being a part of the process and being able to bring those visions to life really makes my heart leap. Like that is the biggest thing. Seeing that beginning stage go and grow into the final stage and blossom and bloom. So that's what I love the most about it. The thing that I dislike the most is, for me, I'm very, very, very passionate. So which makes me super passionate. I can overwhelm myself and do it for me. And so I'm always, always trying to take on the most, because I feel like if being called to something, that's the part of it. You know, as well as being a pastor or preaching, there are times you don't feel like doing it and you don't want to do it, but there are people out there that needs to hear from you. There are people that needs to hear your word and what God is giving you. So I feel like when, everything I shouldn't take or I have to take, but I know the downfall of what I do. For me, I want to make sure that I am able to help everyone. So that's something that I tend to jump in on a lot.
So you're being very, very modest right now. For those who are watching, Christopher is a highly sought after stylist and manages a lot of different brands and a lot of different projects. And so, I need you to give us a little bit of your wisdom. I want to know what are some business practices, or do you have any business advice for serial entrepreneurs who are finding themselves in this particular season challenged, whether it be by being overwhelmed, or whether they've had to pivot from one part of their brand to another because of the pandemic. Just kind of talk to us. What advice do you have for other
you
entrepreneurs?
know, Thank you for all those kind words. But I can honestly say it takes a lot of studying and being educated in what you do. I think during the pandemic now, although it has slowed down a lot, I genuinely feel that it's given us an opportunity to really study and study our craft and cultivate what we are called to do. Staying relevant or staying connected and plugged in. I mean, for whatever reason you're not working, serve and help someone else build. Get behind someone else so you can help them, and it'll come back full circle. I do know that if you're not doing anything, or if it's a dry season, there's nothing wrong with getting a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with going somewhere to make some more money. I do know. I mean, I do more than just being an entrepreneur. I would say I'm full time, but in the same time, I'm working in my field in costume in the TV and film industry. Prior to the pandemic shutting down Hollywood, I would go in and work on movie sets and show sets, still working in my field, but at the same time, I was writing a time card out because we need multiple streams here. And so I'm learning everything on all levels and platforms. But definitely educate, cultivate your gift. And if you got to go back to work, go back and get it any way you can.
Listen, family, if you're just joining us, I need you to share, 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 because this conversation with Christopher Whitfield is so rich. I want to zone in on something that you just talked about, this whole idea of the
Yeah.
pivot. That's been a buzzword for business owners and professionals in this season. And so you did something that I thought was sheer genius. It was
Most
right before everything shut down, you had this online academy that you launched yourself, like a master class. And I was like,
yes.
really, Chris? Really, Chris? So I want to talk a little bit about this whole thing of pivoting. There are some professionals and business owners who are watching right now, and they're having to change everything that they're doing to survive. And so
Yes.
tell us, how did you do that? How did you make this pivot? I've even seen you rehabbing houses. Like,
Uh,
how did you pivot? It was so smooth in your brand. How do we make these transitions? Talk to us.
so one thing I do is I go after and I do consultations with brand developments, and one of the things that I was always getting feedback from and on was, you know, launching a business. Most of the people that wanted to do a brand, they had great ideas, they even had the brand and content, but when we got down to the legal part of things and having the setup, they lacked that. They lacked the domain name, they lacked the tax ID and EIN numbers and business names
Yeah.
and all of the basic things you need, to launch a credible business. And so I thought about that. I felt like that was a need out there for some, not for all, but for some. And so I said, how could I incorporate this in this moment while we are doing everything virtual? And so I said, hey, let's create a webinar and a space for those who want to launch a business, and we can launch it the right way. And so I have that opportunity and tool out there, and I taught everyone how to launch it the right way. The basics, though, it's nothing hard. You learn the structures, the business structures, business, a little bit about business tax, a little bit about business credit, and the pros and benefits and the cons of having these things. And so, even with rehabbing homes, God allowed me to be connected to a mentor that I've watched for so long here in Atlanta. And he asked me, he said, why do you want to do this? And why should I help you? And I told him, I said, this part of me means the most to me because it's for my family. It's more than me. This is about my mom and my dad. Me one day being able to gift them with their dream home, and although they don't want much or didn't want much, but for me to be able to do that because they sacrificed so much for me. And so me and my brother got together and we made it happen, and we're making it happen. And so that's something we do for generational wealth, but these other
Oh,
businesses is, yeah, it's just about just trying to thrive and build something and a legacy so that I can not only leave behind, but um I can live from and not be working all my life to death.
multiple streams. Whenever I talk to other millennials, other young professionals, the biggest thing with us is we may have 8 streams, and that's okay because we know
Mm-hmm.
how to multitask. One thing I love about your brand is that whenever you put something out, it's well thought out, it's organized. And so, you know what I'm going to ask you because our viewers want to know this. How do you manage all of this? Like, you didn't even talk to us about the book. I know you have a book out, you're rehabbing the
Yes.
homes, you have several people that you style. You work with Jay Bolin. I've seen you work with other stylists. Listen, how are you managing all of this?
Well, I that's a weakness. Trying to, like I said, being passionate about all the things that I'm doing and overwhelming myself. And I don't have a team per se, which I would love to have one, but you have to be able to trust people and build those things build relationship with people. So yeah, if you're out there and want to help me. But I definitely so, and we make sure you'll be very well educated. But
I
I
love it.
think
I love
that
it.
but I just feel that what I know that I do is when God gives me something, I believe it's for a certain season. So I wrote my book 2 years ago, and it was during the time that I was in transition and becoming. A lot of times, we hear from celebrities after they make it, but they go back and tell the story. I did this, I did that, and you be like, oh, I didn't even know Steve Harvey went through that, or I didn't know, Oprah went through this and went through that. I didn't know until she got this main stage. But I wanted to build something, which is a 21-day motivational journal for entrepreneurs and individuals, just while you're becoming, in the process of being. These are some of the things that help you overcome obstacles, overcoming fear, and building community, and knowing your purpose, knowing your why, knowing your how, why you're doing what you're doing, because there's going to come a time where you don't feel valued, or there's going to come a time where you're tired, and you're going to learn, okay, this is why I really do what I do. So I'm going to keep going. And while I was in that moment, God allowed me to write that. And it's been a blessing to a lot of people, and people still order and buy it today. I promote it when I can. But it's entitled Dream, Inspire, Create. And I just honestly believe that while I'm becoming my best self, that's the time that I can pull out
Yes.
all those gems, things that I'm going through. Now, when I get to those higher places, I can look back at, oh, this is what I went through. This is what journey back to do that. And so I say, that to say that each thing that I pretty much do, I do in its season. I feel like it's needed in its season. Whether it goes to make me $1,000,000 or it goes to make me 1,000, it's intended for that audience and at that time.
I love it. So right here, I want to kind of move into this conversation of faith, because
Yes,
sometimes we separate the entertainment industry from our faith and our beliefs.
yes,
We think, and I definitely don't espouse to that idea that people who are in the entertainment industry don't have deep and abiding relationships with God. I don't believe that. I believe that there are faithful people everywhere in every industry. But I want to
yes.
ask you, how does your faith inform your practice in what you do?
You,
How does that all interact?
you know what? My faith failed a lot of times. It fell low a lot of times. Prior to me moving here, I'm very close to my parents. Very close to my mom in particular as well. And she was stricken with cancer. She had stage 3 cancer. And I know
Mm.
what God told me. I knew that He wanted me to relocate, and He showed me Atlanta. And my god brother was like, I want you here. Just come here and build. And when God released me, and the job that I had, the doors just closed one random day. And my mom had cancer, and I was going to all these appointments with her. And she told me, she said, Chris, I have peace about it. I want you to go because I want you to be your best self. And I want God to do what He's supposed to do for you. I'm going to be all right. She said, I'm going to be all right. And I got here, and God released me to go through what I went through, building, connecting, writing the book. He gave me Make God Proud apparel line. I started getting more clients. It was very rough though. And on the flip side of it, if I had not have done it, I would have never known that. I would never been able to see Him be the miracle worker that He is. Because my mom now, she's cancer free. Praise God.
Woo!
And yeah, and I've been able to be connected to great people like you who are now back in Georgia. Well, you was in Memphis when at the time when I first met you, and so and being able to be on platforms like this, and have my work featured on Sports Illustrated and the Grammy red carpets and things of that nature, and so had I stayed back because of fear and not believing and trusting in the faith of God, I wouldn't be able to have this. So I can be honest and say I had my low moments, but I just had to keep pushing forward. One thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna end the note on this. If you build it, they'll come. You just gotta build it. You just
Yes,
gotta go. So I just
I,
kept
I love.
building, and it kept coming.
Yes, I love this. I have a devotional journal, and there is a whole chapter in there on fear. And one thing that I say is that as long as your faith is strong, your fears are weak. And so
Yes,
your faith, in a sense, is what fuels your courage. And I
yes,
can truly say, when I look at your brand and everything that God has allowed you to do, you got to have faith to walk in some
yes,
of the doors that walked in, listen, this is Boss Up. And this is, in my opinion, been one of our best episodes. I believe all of our episodes are amazing, but I just
Yes.
really enjoy your comments and your wisdom. So if you're watching us, you may be saying, listen, I want to step up my game, or I want to
Yes.
make a proud shirt. So what we want you to do, Chris, if you could share with us how we can support you, how we can contact you, just kind of share with us how we can follow you right now.
Absolutely. So you can follow me on Instagram at Topher Dwayne. Looks like my name is right under my name. So so
Yes,
you can see
yes.
it. My website is the same. It's topherdwayne.com. It has access to how to launch the basics of launching your business, the webinar. It has me as a stylist and fashion consultant, and has my book there. And my clothing line is at shopbyl.com. So you can get all things there for that.
So that's our show for tonight. Again, we are Hope TV. This is the Boss Up Show. Our pastor is Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr. And here we believe that life with God is better in every way and every day. In the words of our senior pastor, I just want to encourage you guys on a Friday night. If you're to God, God will in turn be good to you. Have a wonderful weekend.